This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ja, und damit herzlich willkommen zu Let's Play The Stanley Parable. Mit mir, eurem lieben The Lego Lord, auch genannt Aaron. Ja,
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Ich glaube, ich habe gerade irgendwas Komisches gemacht. Was war das? Kann es sein, dass es eins von den mehreren Endings ist? Ach, ich habe keine Ahnung. Auf jeden Fall, das Spiel handelt, wie ihr schon gehört habt, um diesen Stanley, den ich spiele. Und ich frage mich, was hier los ist. Dabei wird von einem Erzähler die Story erzählt. Und mir wird manchmal... Also, ich muss nicht das machen, was der Erzähler mir sagt, was ich tun soll. Ha, das ist das Interessante. Ich bin frei in meinen Entscheidungen. Und das führt zu sehr vielen Endings. Zum Beispiel, dass ich gerade die Tür geschlossen habe, hat, glaube ich, zu einem davon geführt. Ja. Es soll witzig sein. Das habe ich mir einfach letztens mal gekauft, weil das gerade ziemlich billig war. Ja. Erkunden wir doch mal hier diese...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ja. Vertrauen wir doch einfach mal dem Erzähler. Also sind alle Arbeiter verschwunden. Ich bin der Letzte. Wo ist der Konferenzraum denn überhaupt? Das sieht doch gut aus. Hallo? Okay, das sieht doch nicht so gut aus. Ich guck mal hier rum. Wo ist der Konferenzraum? Es gibt hier anscheinend auch mehrere Arbeiter, nicht nur mich, Stanley.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ja, wir wollten ihm vertrauen. Ich hätte jetzt auch die andere Tür nehmen können. Ich komme da nicht mehr durch. Naja. Wenn es gut ankommt, dann werde ich das weitermachen. Wenn nicht, überlege ich es mir. Könnt ihr mal wenn ihr das fertig geguckt habt, da ist der Konferenzraum, sagen, was ihr davon
Yet there
haltet.
was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Had to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Hier stehen tolle Sachen. We have our new product. Dieses Geräusch, das kommt wahrscheinlich vom Beamer. Ha, was wird das denn? Interessant, wenn man klickt und dann irgendwas damit berührt, dann kommt so ein Tippen. Room closet. Closet, aua.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Wir wollten ihm vertrauen, also machen wir das.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Es wird natürlich witziger, wenn ich gegen den Erzähler arbeite. Das kann ich ja gleich mal machen. Ich glaube, das dauert nicht so lange, bis man hier mal durch ist. Wir haben es ja gerade eben schon mitgekriegt. Ist das hier der Boss? Executive Bathroom ist zu. Schade, schade. Ich hätte gern gewusst, wer da drin ist. Ist da? Dann bestimmt hier. Okay, dann da auch nicht. Dann hier. Oh,
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Verdammt. 2185? Ich glaube, ich habe mich verdammt. 2185.
Stanley just sat around. Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely. But no. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ein dunkles Geheimnis in der Firma? Aha. Was hat das zu bedeuten? Kapitalismuskritik? Ein dunkler Fahrstuhl mit einem roten Knopf. Was wird wohl passieren? Ich drück den Knopf. Diese Texturenvielfalt. Oh, Loading. Das dauert immer etwas länger. Und meine FPS sacken ein, aber das ist ja jetzt egal. Meine Maus ist ja auch toll, ne? Loading. Ding.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh nee, da wird was passieren. Oh. Okay, ich komme nicht mehr hoch. Naja, wenn ich irgendwo bin, dann komme ich da halt eben nicht mehr weg.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. Alles klar. Escape. Nee, ich will wissen, was das jetzt auf sich hat. Ui. Nein.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ich bin gespannt. Eine Kaffeetasse, aber drücken wir mal den Knopf hier.
Now the monitors jumped to life. their true nature
Fired.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Wo ist mein Büro? Das will ich jetzt finden. Warte, da mal 600. Ach, scheiß drauf. Es erinnert mich an diesen Film, die Unglaublichen. Da gibt's doch auch so. Ah, warte. 427. Da, ich hab mich. Ah, da. Da seht ihr die 427. Da ist mein Büro. Guckt euch an. Da in der Mitte. Ja. Noch ein Knopf. Die Unglaublichen, da gibt's doch auch so eine Szene mit, wo der dann in
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yep.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ah, das erinnert mich noch mehr an die Unglaublichen. Na, was steht denn da? Hi. Nee, Min. Nee. Blink. Nee. Minvase? Nee. High Control. Ach, ich kann es nicht lesen. System Power. Also war das erste, was wir erlebt haben, wohl auch ein Ende, oder? Oh, doch nicht. Ah, okay. Ich dachte, es loadet wieder.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Angst.
Yes. He had won.
Yay.
He had defeated the machine.
Yay.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Yay.
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yep.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Die ist aber noch nicht aufhören. Ich kann nicht hier raus. Oh,
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation. The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Umdrehen, ich will das Gebäude noch sehen.
Was happy.
Ich will das Gebäude doch noch sehen. Oh. Ich hätte andersrum rausgehen müssen. Oh, ich habe das Game geschlagen. Ich habe das Game geschlagen. Oh. Ja, das heißt jetzt, ich kann wieder von vorne starten. Das heißt, das erste, das war wirklich ein Ende. Ja. Ich weiß jetzt gar nicht, wie lange ich hier schon irgendwas gemacht habe. So, wir kennen ja den Text, deshalb gehen wir jetzt mal gerade...
All of his co-workers were
Halt die Klappe.
What could it mean?
Ich weiß, was du
Stanley
sagen
decided to go
willst.
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Ich werde
memo.
jetzt einfach mal die rechte Tür nehmen. Ich habe ja gerade eben schon die linke genommen.
When Stanley came to a set of two
Tschüss.
open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nö, mache ich auch nicht. Ich mache einfach alles gegenteilig. So.
Yes,
Oh,
truly
scheiße.
a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Nö.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on
Es
his
gab eine
left.
andere offene Tür. Ja, was ist hier drin? Oh.
Stanley
die
was so
erste linke
bad
Tür
at
da,
following
ja.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay. Oh, da steht was. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty of misuse from cargo lift. Off cargo lift. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Hui!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you're very powerful.
Alter. Okay. Oh. Ja.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ja. Alter, das hatte ich jetzt nicht erwartet, aber ich hätte jetzt gedacht, man überlebt
When
das
Stanley
irgendwie.
came to
Aber,
a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Mi,
and
mi,
Stanley
mi,
knew
der
it
Erzähler
perfectly well.
erzählt Müll.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ich hatte noch gar nicht den Text fertig gehört, den er
Yes, this room.
auf dem Dings
What a
erzählt
but
hat.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the
Da ist so
story has
Stecken.
been about nothing but you all
Das ist dein
this
Vertrauen in
time.
jemand anderen?
There's someone you've been neglecting,
Anders zu
Stanley.
stecken.
Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Was muss ich machen? Ist das richtig? Ich gehe einfach mal weiter. Oh, dunkle Tür. Das hört sich gut an. Oh Gott.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? But that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible?
Schönes
None of
Ende.
these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Oh. Nein.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice.
Hallo,
He could
Steven.
spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Okay. Practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Ich will nicht. Ich will nicht. Schönes Video übrigens eben. Aber ich will nicht. Ja. Oh, achso, ich dachte schon. Und nun?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. Kann man da rein? Ich will da rein. Ich habe keine Karte. Gibt es doch bestimmt irgendwo eine Karte. Nicht? Schade. Karte. Taschenrechner. Karte. Geodreieck. Karte. Blaupause. Ich will nicht.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nö.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh. Okay. Kann ich da noch mal rein? Okay, ja.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Ich will aber nicht, okay. Ist jetzt nicht wirklich besser geworden.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
Yep.
You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
Ich habe nichts gemacht.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ich will's provozieren.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ich gehe ja schon auf.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Eben kann ich die Tür öffnen, das heißt, es gibt ein anderes Ende jetzt.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Schade. Da ist auch kein Schild, das mich interessieren könnte.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 155, hallo?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115? Night Shark 155? Ach, keine Ahnung, leck mich doch.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
Es geht
Please
nicht.
speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Das ist witzig. Das ist sehr witzig. Wieso ist hier das Bücherregal schief?
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hallo Stanley. Hallo?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Hallo?
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
Yay.
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
Bitteschön.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
Wuhu, erster
Stanley,
Part
this
und
is
durchgespielt.
important.
Huhuhu.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this?
Aw.
Are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Haben wir's jetzt? Drei Endings, ja, nett. Gut, ich tippe Sachen ein. Ich weiß nicht, ob die Musik zu laut war. Man sieht hier die Fraps-Anzeige. Stimmt's oder habe ich recht? Naja. Also, es wäre nett, wenn ihr irgendwie ein Zeichen gibt, ob euch das gefallen hat oder nicht, ob es weiterkommen soll oder nicht. Es gibt hier ja mehr Endings, glaube ich. Und dann würde ich mal sagen, bis vielleicht zum nächsten Mal. Eine Bewertung da lassen. Und dann tschüss. Mit Üss. Tschüss.